tonight, obviously. What were the things you felt let the guys down?
Tip my hat off to Sydney. They came out aggressive. They came out a hot team as they've been playing the last couple of weeks. They were really flowing, shooting well from the three-point line. I think for us was, just our lack of movement on the offensive end. We got stagnant here and there. It didn't help in the first quarter how opposite of the foul situation was, and that didn't help no flow with us. We had to manage a lot of guys' fouls, but that management team out there was what it was. So we just things we had to play through and get better.
How do you adjust to that and obviously the increased physicality that Sydney were playing with?
Yeah. I mean, the physicality is what they're known for, all right? They go 10 minutes once, like I said, one foul, and then we try to reciprocate the same thing. Just unfortunately, we were managing fouls. So, I mean, there's something that, once again, basketball game it runs. Being the champions from last year in this league really doesn't mean anything. In my opinion, as a respect factor. Yeah. I get my technical foul for being happy that we found a way to get a foul called, but the other opposing team could probably do the same thing and just get a smile, right? So, but at the end of the day, no excuses here. Like I said, I tip my hat off to Sydney and their players and Coach Gorge and everybody on there. It is what it is.
Obviously, it's a very different group to last season, but do you feel like, you just mentioned the fact that you are the defending champions, that the teams are raising their level coming in against you?
For sure. We set the bar of how you're supposed to win a championship last year. And all the categories that we did, we get that. We understand that. And we understand that we're going to get everybody best shot and some. But once again, it's just that at the end of the day, we're trying to match intensity. We're sitting up here managing, up and down roster as far as about injuries and things, and inconsistency, having guys being able to practice and not practice. Yeah. But we're coming out there giving it our all every night, and we just want the same respect that other teams have. And clearly, we had a bad batch out there today.
How happy are you to see this gentleman next to you get out there and play some heavy minutes? Actually, who's coming off an Achilles is
super exciting.
Amazing. It's an amazing performance. Really.
Yeah. I was happy for the last 5 weeks when he started to integrate himself into practice. Just to see, when he started, I think rehab in late April or mid-April, something like that, and just every day he's been pushing himself, and him and the EMT guys. So I was probably happy and just besides with him, just be able to see him get out there, no matter what the outcome of the game was, just to see somebody who been playing basketball, had a setback, and got back out there and compete like he did.
I know it's tough, obviously, coming off a loss, and you're all about the team. That's you. But from an individual, if you can just look at your own perspective, how did it feel after it was a devastating injury for you, and to come back as quickly as you have, I think is pretty amazing. How did you feel out there?
Good. I mean, we've done 6 weeks of practice now in full training, and body felt good. We passed all the tests, and I mean, I trusted it, and I know how we've played for a long time. It's quite easy. I've done it for 7 years now. It's quite easy for me to get that basketball side back after those 6 weeks of prep as well. But yeah, I mean, it sucks that we lost and kind of ruined Christmas.
What's the feeling in the group right now? You've obviously been, as JT said, you've been slowly integrating back into the group. But this is an unusual position for you for the last couple of years. So, what is the mindset of the group right now, especially sort of in this little bit of a slump that you're going through?
I mean, we've got to work it out. We're running out of time. Yeah. We're over the halfway point of the season, and we want to get back to the finals. We're running out of games to do it, so there's frustration there, obviously, but we got guys who are competitive and want to win in that locker room. So it's trusting each other to push and get those results, and then trusting in what these guys do, their game plan, that it's going to be the best thing for us to go out and win.
Tyler's back spasms, I mean, are you expecting that for the next game, or is it just a day-by-day sort of scenario?
It's day-by-day, just pain tolerance. We want everybody as healthy as possible to produce, so we don't want to push anybody back sooner than they need to.
Yeah.
JJ, we saw Sam and Brad on the floor together quite a bit. What did you like out of the partnership that you saw from those two out there?
Just their skill set and their high IQ. We haven't had much to be able to have both of them on the floor at practice a lot because, Sam wasn't playing and, P was or whatever the case would be. So we really only had like this past couple of days to really put them out there. So I just trust what they're, the however many years they've been playing basketball to go out there and just, hey, figure it out as far as out the certain sets that we have. So which is something we'll build on. So we started second half, and I think they started to get into a groove, with each other. And we was just behind 8 ball too deep to, push ourselves back. And like I said, Sydney was shooting the ball well.
Sam, when I see many double big lineups in NBL, what was it like for you out there? Can you see this growing into a partnership that can be really effective?
Yeah, for sure. He's so talented, and for me, he wants to be a guy that passes the ball, and he's telling me to seal when he catches it and do all that. So I'm trying to get to the spots, and it's been a long time since I've played the 4 spot. But some of the stuff we're putting in is good too, and I think we ran that big-to-big screen, and they all crashed in, and it worked because we got our guys and shooters open. So I think it's productive for both me and him, but the other guys as well.
When was the last time you came off an on-ball with a big setting screen?
Tonight.
I know you're disappointed to lose him. That's something come back. To get through 24 minutes, double. There must be some inner satisfaction just below the surface there to have a game like that. First game back from a serious injury. That's some comeback.
Yeah, to be honest, it doesn't feel like I've been out that long. Like, it was right at the end of last season, the off season, and then I missed essentially 6 weeks or whatever, the start of this year, but back in the same calendar year. So mentally, it hasn't really feel like I've been out for that long. I was going to take that off season off anyway, so it's just a little extra time, and it was pretty easy for me to slot back into that playing mode.
Just on what JT said about the foul count, finish at level, but at one stage it was 9-2 against you. Just how hard is it as a team there early on when it's 9-2 against?
Yeah, it's frustrating, and part of it is our foul discipline, and then you go crazy and there's like 4 possessions in a row where we don't cross halfway because they call 4 in a row. But then I think part of it too is us being smart and credit to Sydney, they got downhill and attacked us and drew fouls, and I think we kind of settled and didn't attack the rim and settled for threes or mid-ranges when we could have got in there and maybe thrown ourselves to the floor to try and get some of those.
JT, you guys have been a sort of bottom 3 defense for the most part of this season. Are you looking at anything that you could perhaps tweak or change up to maybe turn that around?
Just trying to find a way to, be aggressive, just like the same teams is doing right now. We want to, wrap on the screens. We want to impede your freedom of movement. We want to, extend our arms while you're in the post and get away with a lot of things, or, put our leg out with screens. But, we try to do it the right way, and that's why I was telling my guys, keep the hands up, play with your chest, move your feet, try to not to be so obvious or things like that. But we want to play aggressive as well. It's nothing that we're not trying to do in practice. We do a really good job at practice getting after each other, and we try to reciprocate the same thing. But, I'm managing fouls first quarter, and then, I just feel that sometimes when I do have double bigs, that, maybe the management team don't understand how to officiate that type of situation. But, everybody got to get better, but no excuses from us. We had a talk, and we just got to find a way to get back to the drawing board, get ready for Taz.
Only 7 minutes for Peatling. Was that just solely because you had Sam and Fail there too?
Yeah, somebody's going to be get the short end of the stick. When you have guys coming back and expectations, and Mace is great at everything. So teammate for sure. So somebody understands that whoever has it going, that's who we got to go roll with. But there's no way I can play all those guys the significant amount of minutes that they were used to.
Sam, I know we've already spoken about it, but you come back a month earlier than what we were all told, and you've had this 6 weeks of quite intense rehab. How long have you felt game ready for?
Probably the last 2 weeks. I'm starting to get that back end of practice and the legs under me.
Mikey?
Oh, good, guys. I'll let you go.
Great. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, fellas.